Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind, and welcome to the session. I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Good evening. Okay, so I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Good evening. I am good. Good evening. I am good. How are you? How is everyone? Namaskar, pranam. Okay, so we had a session last time on Friday, and after a gap of 2-3 days, we are meeting today. So the topics which we are going to discuss today, the first thing is the solar flares, solar wind, and CME, coronal mass ejection. So these are some of the topics which are always there in the news in the last 1 year itself. Almost every month you may have got a news article with respect to them. So we are going to talk about them also. Second thing which we are going to discuss is how the mirror works. There is a very interesting article in the Hindu today that how the mirror is working. How do you get to see your image? Like whether however you are looking, how do you get that idea? Okay, so this is one thing which we are going to discuss in today's session, how the mirror works. The third thing is we are going to talk about the Israel mapping. Once again, it is there in the news just because of Gaza Strip, and another reason is there was no other important article in the newspaper. So we are going to discuss the Israel mapping again. Then we are going to talk about this one article from last day, that is Pamban Bridge. Okay, so these are the 4 articles which we are going to discuss in today's session. Okay, and before we go into that, let us see certain questions. Let us see certain questions. First one is, consider the following statement. The registration of a geographical indication is valid for a period of 10 years. Second is, the first product to be given a GI tag was Tirupati Laddus in 2003. Yes, today we are starting with science and tech. So consider the following statement. The registration of a geographical indication is valid for a period of 10 years. The first product to be given a GI tag was Tirupati Laddus in 2003. तो देखो, there is one simple thing. जिनका आंसर सही होगा, they will get the Tirupati Laddus. और जिनका आंसर गलत होगा, you have the Chapta Chilli. You have the Chapta Chilli. So there is a gift provision in today's class. If you give the right answer, you will get the Tirupati Laddus with the GI tag. If you are giving this wrong answer from Warangal, the Chapta chilies, it is also called as tomato chilies. Okay, that is also option. Okay, so it's your decision. Okay, so yes, the first one is correct. The registration of a geographical indication is valid for a period of 10 years. So that one is correct. The second option is here. The first product to be given a GI tag was Darjeeling tea. Okay, it is not Tirupati Laddus, it is Darjeeling tea which got the first one in 2003. Darjeeling tea. Okay, so remember this, the Darjeeling tea जो सिर्फ मुझे मिलेगी, that was given the tag in 2003. So here the answer is option number A, one only. Okay, now coming to the second question, how many of the following have completed manned space mission? Okay, first one is China, Russia, US, and European Space Agency. Yes, Mona. This in this session we discuss the English related current affairs. So this is the second question. How many of the following have completed manned space mission? China, Russia, US, and European Space Agency. Question number 2. Okay, question number 2, option A, option C. How many of the following have completed manned space mission? Manned space mission कहने का मतलब ये है they have sent humans to the space. They have sent some humans to the space by themselves. By themselves. Okay, so yes, I think most of the answers are option number C. So that is correct also. Russia has sent it, US has sent it, China has sent it. European Space Agency, although it is part of International Space Station, but it doesn't have its own manned space mission. When India is able to do this Gaganyaan mission, India will become the 4th country in the world to have this feat or have this achievement to have a manned space mission of its own capacity. Okay. So right now the answer is C option. Then, how many of the following have got GI tags? Kashmir Shikaras, Kanadipaya, Rindia and Kashmir Willow Bat. How many of them have got GI tags? The first option is Kashmir Shikaras, Kanadipaya, Rindia and Kashmir Willow Bat. So how many of them have got this GI tag? That is the question. Question number 3. Good evening, good evening. Rindia is also there. C option, B option. Bat, I think everyone knows that bat is bat, cricket bat. Okay. Kanadipaya, last time we have seen, Kanadipaya is a mat made up of inner portions of the bamboo. It is a tribal art based in Kerala which has got this GI tag. Okay, so yes, Kanadipaya from Kerala, it has got this. But remember all this part. These are the famous ones which have got the GI tags in the recent time. So the answer is all 4. Especially the Kashmir Shikaras, they have got this GI tag. Kashmir Shikaras are like a boat structures in one of the not one of the, in many of the movies, Kashmir Shikaras were one of the main attractions, or it was one of the main shooting grounds. Okay, in recent times also it has got this popularity. Okay, so Kashmir Shikaras, they have also got this GI tag. Kashmir Willow Bat, they have also got GI tag. The Chapata chilli from that state of Telangana has also got GI tag. Rindia is this one. Rindia is this like hand woven craft of this is from Meghalaya, I guess. Okay, so Rindia is one such thing which has also got this GI tag. Okay, so Rindia is this shawl, this stall or shawl. It has also got this GI tag. Okay, it is perhaps from Meghalaya, Garo, Khasi, Jaintia tribes. So they are having this like traditional shawl or stall like or this textile. So that is called as Rindia. Okay. Now, so this is the third question. This is the third question. Now there is okay, Anjali, I will communicate this to the team. Okay. Now, we are going to talk about the next thing, that there are 3 things called as solar flare, solar wind and coronal mass ejection. So we are going to first try to understand this. But before we understand this, there is one thing called as sunspot. So can you tell me what are sunspots? Anyone, can you tell me what are sunspots? What are sunspots? Anyone? Like before we go into this solar wind, solar flare and coronal mass ejection, there is one term called as sunspots. So when we are talking about this term sunspots, okay, remember this part, sunspots is not only what you are getting in beauty products advertisement and all. Okay, sunspot is basically a spot on the sun. It is basically a spot on the sun, or It is basically a spot on the sun, or basically some cooler regions on the sun. It is basically areas of relatively lower temperature. Areas of relatively lower temperature means if we talk about the average temperature on photosphere of the sun, average temperature in photosphere, that is equal to 600 degrees Celsius. So in sunspots, if we talk about the sunspots, here the temperature can be around 4200 degrees Celsius. So they are the cooler regions. They are the cooler regions of the sun. Why these cooler regions are created? They are created due to the intense magnetic field. What is the source, or why they are created? Why they are created? Why? If we talk about the why, it is due to the strong magnetic fields. It is due to the strong magnetic fields that we see. There is a creation of this sunspots. Okay. Now this sunspot, can you tell me, like when we are talking about the sunspot, what can be the size of this sunspot? Like they appear, like they are appearing like it can be a simple 1 meter or 2 meter or 2 kilometer diameter. But this one sunspot can be equal to the size of the earth. A sunspot can be also equal to the size of earth or Jupiter or other planets. Okay. So Jupiter can consist of like several earth. Jupiter can consist of several earth, and a sunspot can be as large as a Jupiter. So from there you can understand that how big the sun is. That a spot on sun, a small spot on sun can be equal to the size of the earth itself. Okay. So these are the portions, these are the spots on the sun which are relatively cooler, and it is cool due to intense magnetic field. Now these things, now here we have to understand one more thing. There is one thing called as solar flare. Solar flare. Video just stuck. I hope now it is visible properly. I hope now it is visible properly. Okay. So what we were talking about, that when we are talking about the solar flare, we were talking about this solar flare. So here, this solar flare is basically a huge disruption, a huge explosion on the surface of the sun. It is a huge explosion. If we look at this, it is a huge explosion on the surface of sun. Huge explosion on surface of sun. So this solar flare is like a huge explosion which is being created on the surface of the sun. Now again the question is why? Why the sun is exploding? Why there are so many disruptions? Again the same region, due to the interference or due to the different magnetic fields. Okay. So due to the play between, due to the interaction between the different magnetic fields on the sun, there is this problem of huge explosion also, which we call it solar flare. So also caused due to the magnetic field. So this one is also caused due to magnetic field interaction. This is also caused due to magnetic field interaction. Now this solar flare is not an ordinary event. This is not an ordinary event. If we talk about solar flare, the energy which is released from a solar flare can be equivalent to the energy created by thousands of hydrogen bomb, not even nuclear bomb. One single nuclear bomb can be much more powerful than thousands of nuclear bombs. One single hydrogen bomb can be equivalent to thousands of nuclear bombs. And this solar flare, it can be equivalent to thousands of those hydrogen bombs. So from there you can understand that what is the amount of energy which is getting released from this solar flare. So that is one part, what is solar flare. Now there is another thing, what is this coronal mass ejection? Okay, what is this coronal mass ejection? In the sun, when we are talking about the sun, there is the outer layer of the sun. There is the outer layer of the sun which is called as corona. Okay, the outermost layer of sun, it is called as corona. Okay, and this corona, this consists of plasma state of matter. Plasma state of matter. So this consists of the plasma state of matter. Plasma state means highly energetic charged particles are there. They are highly energetic charged particles. So what we see that whenever there is an explosion or there is a change of balance in this corona part of the sun, then there is mass ejection of the plasma. So coronal mass ejection, when we talk about this, it is simply like this: mass ejection of plasma, from corona, and this is coming with huge amount of energy. So whether it is solar flare or coronal mass ejection, solar flare is simply an explosion, and sometimes when there is change in energy level or explosion, so what we see that there is also a huge amount of energy and mass which is coming out of the corona of the sun. So this mass ejection of the plasma particles from the outer layer of sun is what we call as coronal mass ejection. So these are the two things which you have to understand. One is solar flare, the explosion on the surface of sun. Second is coronal mass ejection, the ejection of plasma in mass amount. Mass means bulk amount. Mass means the bulk amount from the corona of the sun. This is what we call as coronal mass ejection in case of sun. I hope that part is clear. What is coronal mass ejection? What is this solar flare? And what are the sunspots? I hope these three things are clear. Good evening. I think video is not stuck now. Everything running fine. Okay. So this is the first portion, the first topic, solar flare, coronal mass ejection and everything. Now, coming to the second part. Okay. That how are you able to see your beautiful image whenever you are going and every morning you are just trying to look into the mirror. You are thinking that I am the most prettiest person on the entire planet or the entire galaxy or the entire universe. So what is the reason behind that reflection? How do we get to see the image? That is the thing which we are going to talk about today. Normally you may have all read this in class 10th, class 12th, that the reflection of light enables us to see any object. Okay. So like suppose that when you are standing in the front of a wall, you are not able to see your face. But sometimes when there is a mirror, you are able to see that. At the same time, when there is a glass, there is a plain glass with no coating. So in that situation, you are not able to see your image again. Suppose when you are looking at the window of any of the house, when you are looking at the window, that is also made up of a glass, but you are not able to see your face in that glass. But in your mirror which you have at your home, you are able to see your face. You are not able to see your face in the wall which is made up of bricks or any other object. So what causes this phenomena, or what is responsible behind this, through which you are able to see your image? The one who will tell me will be allowed to take mirrors, otherwise you will not be provided mirror for 1 week. So just tell me this one part. Because of silver coating. No, I need more better answer. What is the cause here? Why some objects are transparent? Why some objects are non-transparent? Why some objects reflect huge amount of light, whereas others are not able to reflect the same amount of light? What is the reason? See, there is one thing. When we are talking about this mirror, how this mirror is going to work. See, generally, suppose we have one surface. Let us make this surface. Okay. And a person is standing here. Okay. This person is standing here. Now, if this is a metal, suppose if, this is X. Okay. So if X is metal, then what will happen? The metal consists of free electrons. This if X is a metal, this metal consists of free electrons. So suppose that we are having an object, and if a light is incident on this, the electrons which are here, these electrons start to bounce or starts oscillating at rapid rate. They start oscillating at rapid rate. Okay. So if it is a metal, these electrons start oscillating at a rapid rate, and due to that oscillation, there is an equivalent ray which is reflected here. A ray of same frequency. Is released from the electrons. Basically, a ray of the same frequency is almost released by the electrons of the metals. So when the ray of light is incident upon here, the electrons will get the energy. They start dancing across the entire metal, and then they release the light with same frequency. So in this case, there is huge reflection, and there is a chance that the person will be able to see the image. Okay. But when there is a non-metal, let us say there is something like a glass. There is a glass window. So you see that this is almost transparent. If there is no such impurity over it, if there is no such dirt over it, if it is ultra clean, it is almost fully transparent. Okay. So what happens here, that when we talk about these glasses, their electrons do not move. So they do not interact, and the light passes from them. The electrons are not moving, and they simply pass through it. So this is one common thing which we see in case of non-metals. They easily pass through it. So due to this region, the glass-like material is able to fully, it becomes transparent, and the light easily pass through it. Or they are poor reflectors, or they are poor reflectors, and this is why they don't have luster. This is why what we see that they don't have luster. Okay, this is why they don't have the luster. The metals are having the luster. The metals are appearing bright, whereas the non-metals are not appearing that much lustrous, that much shiny or bright. Okay, so this is the region. The electrons are the region. In case of metals, the electrons start oscillating, they start dancing across the crystal, and they release the light with the same frequency. This light with the same frequency is responsible for the true reflection of that object, okay, or the light. Whereas in case of non-metals, either they become transparent or they become poor reflector. So either they are appearing dull, they will appear dull, or the light will simply pass through them, they will not be even seen. Okay, like as in the case of air. In the case of air, what we see that most of the gases which are there, they are non-metals. They are non-metals. So when the light is passing through them, you are not able to see them. Okay, there is no such reflection, it is easily able to pass through it. So this is one part why we are able to see the reflection and all. Now the question is, if it is only about metal, why are you not able to see your image when you are having an iron sheet in front of you, or when you are having any such thing like, let us say, you are having any metal sheet of aluminium. You have got a metal sheet of aluminium. In that, you are not able to see your face. But when it is there in the mirror, when that same aluminium coating is there behind the mirror, you are able to see it. But when it is a plain aluminium sheet, you are not able to see that. So why we are having that challenge? See, why metals are not mirrors by themselves? If it is like, suppose that if they are metals and they are reflecting most of the light, so why they are not used directly as a mirror? सीधा लोहा में चेहरा दिखता या सीधा आपको एल्युमिनियम के बर्तन में चेहरा दिखता, but you are not able to see that. Why? It is there is a cause. The cause is it doesn't have that much smoothness. It doesn't have that much smoothness. It doesn't have that much smoothness. So when we are using a glass, first the glass is providing a smooth surface, plus we are using very fine coating of aluminium or silver. So how do we make a mirror? In case of mirror, we provide a very transparent and smooth glass. A very transparent and smooth glass and a silver or aluminum coating So when they will work together, when both of them work together, only in that condition we use the reflection of the metal and the plainness or smoothness of the glass, and if we combine them together, only in that situation we get the mirror. So remember this one part, this reflection which we are getting, it is because of electrons. The metals are able to reflect more, they appear shiny, they appear lustrous because their electrons are releasing the rays of same frequency. But in case of non-metal, it is not the case. Now in the situation, if we talk about the mirror, for mirror, even a simple metal cannot be used because the metals cannot have that much smoothness. It will reflect the light, but it will reflect it in various directions. It will reflect that in various directions. So the glass which is there, it is redirecting the light in a particular direction. It is redirecting the light in a particular direction, plus with a smooth coating of silver, that reflection is also possible. So that's why we use a combination of a non-metal and a metal to get a perfect mirror. Okay, so that is the second topic. How do we get the mirror? Okay, Muskan, we are talking about the science related topics, science and tech. These are mostly prelims related topic. Today we have not got any mains specific editorial as such. There was no such important thing. Okay, so this is part of GS paper 3 prelims related article, mostly science related. Okay, now coming to the third topic. Okay, so the second topic is clear. What is mirror and how do we get that image? I hope that part is clear. So there is a simple thing. Now, till now, you all have got this idea that it is the reflection of light which enables us to see any object. But now, since there is a special article in the Hindu on especially this part, that what causes this reflection and what causes this transparency or translucency. So you have to know in a little bit detail also. When some refinement is done on any topic, you have to add it there. Okay. So this is another part which you have to see. Now coming to the third portion about Israel. So let me ask you some questions. Don't see the map. Okay. So let me ask you some question. If we are talking about Sea of Galilee, there is one thing called as Sea of Galilee. So can you tell me where is Sea of Galilee? Like which countries are sharing border with Sea of Galilee? So this is one question. Which countries are sharing border with Sea of Galilee? Any idea about this? देखो सभी ने इजराइल का मैप 2 सालों से देखा है. So tell me about this part. Which countries? And don't Google, don't ask ChatGPT, Gemini, or any other AI engine. Tell me by your own natural intelligence. पहली बार ये नाम सुने. That is the honesty which I require. हाँ, तो remember this part, because Gaza Strip is too much common, West Bank is too much common. Okay, so there is one thing called as Sea of Galilee. Now, if we look at this Israel area, there is one thing called as Golan Height. Okay, so Golan Height, if we look at this, UPSC has once asked about this area, Golan Height. So this is part of Syria. If we talk about this, it is part of Syria, but occupied by Israel. Occupied by Israel. Then what we see that Gaza Strip, it has been one of the most famous regions, Gaza Strip. Okay, so it was the like a place where Palestinian people live. And there is a West Bank area also. There is this West Bank area also. So this is again the same thing. Here also you will find that Palestinian people are living in this area. Now here we have this one sea, which is Dead Sea. So Dead Sea is sharing border with Israel and Jordan. So Dead Sea is sharing this border with Israel and Jordan. And when you have this Golan Height, there itself you will find that just near this Golan Height we have this Sea of Galilee. Okay, so Sea of Galilee is here. Sea of Galilee. So this Sea of Galilee is here. The Sea of Galilee is here. You have Israel on one side. Okay. On the other side, you have this portion of Syria. Although Golan Heights is Golan Heights is already captured by Israel itself, but still we can see that international border of Israel and Syria, or Israel and Israel and Golan Heights. Okay, so near this Golan Heights itself, we have the Sea of Galilee. So here we have the Gaza Strip, here we have the Dead Sea. In this portion, we have the Sea of Galilee. Okay, there is also this port of Haifa. There is also this port of Haifa. So this port of Haifa, it has been like acquired by Adani Enterprises. Okay, yes. So port of Haifa is like for operational part, it is not that we have acquired the territory, but for operation part, it is being managed by the Adani Enterprises. Okay, so port of Haifa is there. Adani Enterprises. Okay, now just to give you an idea, not in Tencent, not looking like he is in Tencent. Okay, so when we talk about the Adani Enterprises, there is one simple thing, or sorry, port of Haifa. When we talk about this port of Haifa, there is one simple thing. Almost the entire shipping, like it is said that it is 99% of the shipping of Israel which goes through this port of Haifa. Okay, so most strategic, if we look at this, most strategic port of Israel. Okay, it is the most active, most strategic part of Israel. Okay, how is such small water body a sea? It is called as a sea, but normally we see that when we are talking about a sea, it is generally having inlets and outlets, and it is connected to a bigger water body. Okay, for example, Black Sea is connected to Mediterranean. Okay, so they have given it a name, Sea of Galilee. How we can change that? They have given the name. Okay, so earlier it may have been a longer structure, so at that time it was called sea, but sometimes like there are older names also, they have been famous from the beginning, so that's why they have been called as sea from the beginning. Like Caspian Sea is there, but now it has been changed to a lake. Now people call it as a lake. So it is a quite large body in that sense, but still it is being called as a lake. So this is one part, the areas around this Israel. You know, there is this portion, there is a water body here also. Can you tell me which water body is here? There is a water body in this region. Water body is also here in this region. What is the name here? This is Egypt portion. You know that this is Jordan, Syria, Lebanon. It is sharing borders with these four countries. But what is this small area here? Small water body. This is Gulf of Aqaba. Okay, this is the Gulf of Aqaba, which is connected to the Red Sea. This is Gulf of Aqaba, which is connected to the Red Sea. Aqaba. Aqaba. Okay. So this is the Gulf of Aqaba, which is connected to the Red Sea. Okay. So these are the mapping portions of Israel. Now, one last thing. There was this inauguration of Pamban Bridge. So can you tell me, where is this Pamban Bridge located and which are the areas getting connected through this? Okay, Pamban Bridge. So can you tell me which areas are getting connected with the help of this Pamban Bridge? Which areas are getting connected here with the help of Pamban Bridge? Rameshwaram is there, okay, fine. And Pamban Bridge was recently there in the news. It is across the Park Strait. Okay, it is connecting the Rameshwaram island with the main portions of Tamil Nadu. Okay, So it is connecting the Rameshwaram. Okay, connects Rameshwaram to mainland of Tamil Nadu. Mainland of Tamil Nadu. Okay. So this is connecting the Rameshwaram to mainland of Tamil Nadu, and like this concept on this rail is very like ancient one. This rail line is this bridge was constructed a very long time ago in the British times also, but now we are having this route. Now we are having the bridge which is having a vertical lift. Okay, so it is India's first vertical lift bridge on sea. It is India's first vertical lift bridge on sea. Okay, yes, so it is vertically lifted so that even the ships can pass through it and the road and railways can also pass through it. Okay, so you will find that it is having this capacity to let the ships also pass through it, and even the normal road and rail operation will also go at the same time. Okay, so here we are having this first vertical lift of bridge of India. Okay, so this is also very quite scenic place. Next time whenever you are planning for some trip after your selection, you have this one option. Think about this, going on this road itself, it is going to be so much interesting. So when next time you are visiting Rameshwaram or any part, you have this bridge. Okay, so this bridge has been inaugurated and you can visit here. You can visit here by boat, you can visit here by cycle or any other things. Okay, so this is the bridge which has been constructed here. Vertical lift bridge. Nay, I will go with you. Okay, so that is all for today. Today we have a few less articles. Now there is one more information for all of you. Like recently, last day we have this seminar in Patna, and now on 11th of this April we are going to have this seminar in Assam also. In Guwahati also we are going to have one seminar on 11th of this month. Okay, so those all who are there in Guwahati, so on 11th of April, we are going to have this seminar by Khan sir and team. Okay, so Khan sir is going to be there. Khan sir and team going to be there on 11th April in Guwahati. So this is going to be organized in Srimanta Shankar Dev Kala Kshetra. Okay, Srimanta Shankar Dev Kala Kshetra. Srimanta Shankar Dev Kala Kshetra. So there we are going to have this seminar on 11th at 2 p.m. onwards. Okay, so then we are going to meet there. Okay, in Guwahati also on 11th of April. Okay, so Khan sir and team will be coming there also. So all those who are there in Assam, see you there. Okay, so for today this that will be all, and tomorrow we will be discussing more topics. Okay, so today we are also starting with science and tech in our crash course, and let's meet tomorrow then in the morning session at 8 o'clock for the revision of environment related topics, and in the evening at 5 p.m. for current affairs. Okay, so thank you everyone, revise these topics, and tomorrow we will meet again at the same time. Thank you, take care.